Hello and welcome to another episode of Growth and Development. I'm SK and I welcome all of you wherever you are. And in my last topic, I talked about effective leadership. How an effective leadership not only help the organization to grow exponentially as well as it also helps the people, those who work under a great leader. And I talked about at a broader level, not only from an organization or corporate perspective, I talked about from a country perspective. So when you have a right leadership who thinks about bringing opportunities, or not only bringing opportunities, but bringing opportunities without any biasness or distributing things, distributing opportunities, whether it's about learning new skill, whether it's about education, health infrastructure, anything. So, and the delegation of the task to a manner that picking the right people for the right thing is very much important for an effective leadership. So, we'll be discussing so many things in these chapters, in these episodes of growth and development, which may be helping individually to you and your organization. And today I'm going to talk about something which is, disturbing everybody, whether it's a technocrat, whether it's an economist, whether it's a common man, whoever is associated with money or the technology, it's disturbing everyone. Why it is so disturbing? Why, it is. It looks like impossible to get to the pace of what is happening around us. So many things are happening economically, socially and politically, as well as technologically. I mean, the speed at which technology is evolving. If you look at the 2 decades, in last few decades, starting from the dot-com boom, the internet 1.0, then internet 2.0, now we have internet 3.0, which talks about the decentralization. Earlier, when the internet came into the picture, it was just a read-only kind of stuff where people can log in and see the advertisement or publishing of a website or web content. In 2000, something miraculously happened and some new e-commerce sort of stuff came into the picture. Flipkart, Amazon played an important role, bringing a lot of opportunities in terms of jobs, in terms of foreign investment, in terms of everything, technically also. So the dot-com boom, internet 2.0, it played an important role in terms of enhancing businesses, boosting economy, boosting the businesses and the startups also somewhere in 2016. And Amazon was the first organization which was working very hard or very smartly in terms of bringing new system into place which can enhance the user experience as well as making sure that people, those who are left out or unreached, so that they can reach out to them. And they have tremendously done a wonderful job. By 2006, they have captured the e-commerce market, and they are the one who first launched something called cloud computing, which is taking over the organization. The enterprises are migrating their in-house applications to cloud. Later on in 2010, Microsoft Azure, which can't be left if something is happening technologically. So they also came into the business and they launched their own services in Azure. They set up their cloud. Now they are also sharing some sort of market, which is close to 22%. Amazon is at the top, still a big leader in terms of cloud computing, providing compute storage and all those services, which I'll be talking about in my upcoming chapters, upcoming episodes. And the Google engine, which I first started using in 2004, is also just chasing these two big giants, Amazon and Azure, AWS and Azure. So they are contributing 10 to 11, 12% as per the last quarter report. So that's about, some technological changes. But what is the disruption which I'm talking about from the common man perspective? Is it really hard for everybody to get along with this change, or it is very easy? And why people are so worried about losing their jobs? Because the automation is the terminology which is being heard, used, and too much prevailed at this moment. Every organization, along with migrating towards the cloud, removing the MPLS link from, or using the hybrid along with MPLS and SD-WAN, which also be the topic of discussion maybe in this video or in upcoming videos. So fundamentally talking about the economy is drastically going into zigzag mode. Sometime it's going down, it's going up. You have heard about the Bitcoin. What is this Bitcoin technology? Ethereum, also the blockchain. Is a new terminology that also do some kind of decentralization. So the applications controlling might not be done through the central authority. The peer-to-peer networking also come into the picture when we talk about the blockchain. So there's so many things that I wanted to discuss, but not go haywire. I mean, don't want to do any kind of full mash stuff here. I just want to go one by one. So the leadership I've already talked about. Now I want to talk about how these new things, the new technologies, the pace at which it is changing. So what is important for you to do at this moment right now? Like I myself, gone for Azure certification, studied Azure, AWS, and even cloud. And that was very important for me because most of my customers were migrating their application to clouds. They're opting for SD-WAN. So I studied SD-WAN. And now the another thing which is very challenging is the Zscaler stuff. So that's what I'm studying right now. So studying, getting exposure on new technologies should not be stopped at any point of time. Nowhere you should be feeling that you come to a saturation point. When you come to a saturation point, you have to think something else. So that is the main aspect. Learning should not be stopped. Skill improvement as a part of your career, personally as well as corporate level perspective also. And what are the important things that we need to consider when we talk about this 21st century automation, robotic stuff, and the new challenges which are there for all of us, economically, technically, everything. So it's not like that the 2000.com boom was also welcomed by everybody or few people. I would say majority, it was helpful for majority of the individuals, as it brought a lot of employment. Government was also very supportive at that point of time when .com boom happened. Lots of IT sector, BPO sector, established their companies, and in this continent, especially in the APAC region, I'm talking about. So a lot of employment brought by these new evolution. And this is again happening. Again there is a valuation changes happening. So by cloud computing, there are lots of opportunities since internet has become more reliable than ever before. And what made internet reliable? Its speed and the security in the cloud by the Zscaler. Without security, nobody, I think no enterprise would ever migrate their application to the public space where they have lack of control, uncontrollable transactions happening. So enterprise become very nervous when they think about migrating or giving their security to third party. Maybe it's Microsoft, maybe Azure. Microsoft give lots of security and compliance vulnerability checks and all that through their platform. Multiple things that Microsoft does. They have their security parameters. But why enterprises become nervous about security? Because they lose the control of giving the access, giving the authorities to users. They want to restrict them, they want to still keep it. So Zscaler is wonderful technology, wonderful product which has been launched along with this cloud computing, the SD-WAN. All these things came right after the other. When the reliability of the internet was produced into the market, and since MPLS is a very costly but a very reliable circuit, 99.9% reliability was there with MPLS. But internet is not giving the reliability, but it is the SD-WAN itself giving the opportunity to use multiple links, underlay and overlay stuff. So that sort of more technicality which I will go into it. But my point is that I wanted to bring today, I wanted to highlight is that whatever disruption is happening, maybe virtualization, maybe from hardware we're moving towards the virtualization part, maybe from capex we are moving towards the operational expenditure, which are monthly utility bills sort of stuff, pay as you go. So everything is becoming SaaS, whether it's security, whether it's application, it's majorly becoming a SaaS, software as a service. As you pay you pay for what you use, what as per your consumption. So that gives you more flexibility in terms of usage, in terms of also it reduces the procurement cost and all that stuff, the maintenance, the headache that IT had used to have. So that sort of privilege or flexibility is there. And also these platforms which are providing you better services, whether it's compute resource analytics or networking services, they give you reliability. There are cost range. If you pay this much, you get this much of reliability. I mean, it is cost effective depending upon the requirement. You don't have the same requirement all the time, so sometimes you need more CPU, sometimes you need more storage, sometimes you need high availability, sometimes you need low latency. It's all sort of stuff is there depending upon your requirement. So that is one aspect. So how you cope up with it, you need to learn, you need to start learning the new technology, you need to go for the certification like I did for Azure and AWS. Next would be the security part. I think hope everybody has done CCNA, CCIE or CCNP. But it is the best time to go for SD-WAN certification. It is the best time to go for a Zscaler certification. It's the time to go for cloud certification. Why not? So this is how you solve your problem related to the skill set. That is another aspect. Now talk about the economically, how you gel up, how you settle down these things which are happening. So some sort of understanding of financial management, this is also come into the picture, which you also need to have an idea. Some the country's current growth rate and all that stuff. Just keep an eye on this, because the last recession that we had in 2008, which rattled the world, nobody predicted this is what is going to happen. But nowadays predictions are that we might get into a recession because debt is increasing on every country. Lots of sanctions happened on Russia, Ukraine war and all that stuff that taken place. So that has badly hit the economy, not to one country particular, to all over the world. Lots of businesses I myself have seen shutting down. So that's a very critical situation. But yes, for people, those who are just doing the BTechs, especially the technical engineers, it is from their perspective. They need to choose a line, a track very you know cleverly, or I would say with a peace of mind, that which where they want to go. They want to become a kind of combination of all these new stuff which are coming into the market. This is the best time. They can't just do the computer science and start looking for a job. The companies would want them to have an idea and understanding of everything which is going on, whether it's a cloud computing, whether it's uh, software defined networking, whether it's DevOps, whether it's automation, whether it's language Python, Ansible, anything. Even if you are good at Java, that does not stop you to learn cloud computing. Even if you are good at Python, that does not stop you to learn Ansible. Even if you're good at MPLS, you shouldn't be restricting yourself to learn about SD-WAN and cloud computing, because all this is becoming a new future. And if you're good at reasoning and all that stuff, you go for machine learning, artificial intelligence. These are the new stuff which are very good. I think they have already introduced in BTech or B programs the artificial intelligence and machine learning and cloud computing. I'm sure this is part of their curriculum also. So, but practically they need to ensure that they explore these technologies and services. So once they come out of the college, they don't get into any kind of difficulty. They have to go for a retraining program. Most of the organization do. They hire lots of people from the campus interview, and then they put them as trainee or for a small amount of monthly salary. That becomes very upsetting moment for them. I have myself have seen people struggling there with this small amount. They have invested 10 lakh rupees in BTech, and now what they get in hand is 6,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, because they have paid as a stipend. They have not properly learned what they were supposed to learn in their academics, in their BTechs. So that's the challenge. So that's what they have to understand. If you're doing a BTech, BE, you must ensure that before you come out of your college, you have the full grasp on these new stuff which are changing the entire technical world. So I think I've talked too much about today what the disruptions are happening and how we overcome to that by improving our learning skills, by continuous learning, by continuously focusing on new stuff. And whether you are a student, whether you are a working or employee somewhere, you have to continuously work on improving your skills. That's the only way out if you want to continue with any field. Even if you are a CA, or even if you are a doctor, whoever you are, your tools will be changing. There will be a drastic change in the pharmaceutical sector also. So in every sector, wherever you go, it's not only related to BTech or B people. Maybe you are doing MSc biotechnology, genetic engineering. Lots of changes are happening everywhere. So that's about it. I think just need to remember two things: do your work and learn with honesty, with complete involvement, absolute involvement. When I say involvement, means absolute involvement, and go mad about learning at the stage of 20. When you are a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, you have more possibility comparatively to the person who has already spent 10 years in any organization. Your brain is still in a state which can learn anything. So to cut this story short, takeaway is learning should not be stopped. Number two, what you need to learn, you need to make up a mind first. You don't have to become master of everything, but you don't have to say that you don't know anything. So become a master of one jack of all. That is the requirement of the time at the moment. Master of one, at least one technology, one domain, and then jack of all. That, and technically you have to be savvy, not strong if you belong to some other sector. Maybe you're going for a pharmaceutical, power, marine industry, any industry, even hotel industry. Everything is coming and getting managed by these computers and so you have to become computer savvy, you have to become a technically savvy, even not computer, the smartphone. So thank you so much for giving your time listening to me. Thank you so much. Take care. And if you have more question, more concern, there is a link behind. There's a link and my mobile number in the description. You can directly get in touch with me. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.